tell me the first few words what comes to your mind about young people?
Opportunity.
Energetic.
Energy.
Energetic.
Energetic.
Energy.
Yeah.
Energetic.
Curious. Vibrant.
Innocent.
Mistreated.
Fun.
Fun. Fun. Future. Lazy.
They're energetic, they're imaginative, they're passionate, they want to fix things, but also, I also think that there are a lot of very angry and upset young people.
Stress.
Poor.
Noisy.
Hope.
Outgoing.
Preconception.
Misunderstood.
Let down.
Baffling.
Learning.
Intelligent. Life. Spoiled.
University. In debt.
Infuriating. Enthusiasm.
Hardworking.
Potential. All young people are not the same.
Because you see, the young people can't sort out the economy and they can't generate jobs because they're children and they're just coming into the adult world. The people who should be sorting all these things out aren't doing their jobs properly, and at the same time they're being very rude about young people, and I think that's really wrong.
What does stereotyping of young people in London mean to you?
I think some people can live up to stereotypes
It means a lot of stuff you see in the media saying young people are doing bad things.
because people might look at a young person and think, you know, especially if they're wearing a hood or something, and they might think, ooh, I'm worried about them, I don't know.
I ignore it, so it means nothing to me.
I think that if you went and spoke to rich children, they would tell you they are experiencing stereotyping too, but in different ways. And I think that's one of the issues. Stereotyping full stop is really negative.
Where in London do you live?
in Brooklyn.
Bethnal Green.
I live in southeast London.
Nottingham.
Clapham. Ealing Broadway.
I live in Kentish Town.
Clerkenwell.
In Clerkenwell.
You don't have a head teacher who's ambitious on behalf of the children, then they don't fill the children with the idea that they can achieve. And therefore, the children end up aiming lower. So it's much more about adult expectations. And that depends. I've been in schools in very poor areas where head teachers have been very ambitious on behalf of the children. And those children have gone on to Oxford, to Cambridge, and really achieved.
What do you think about young people in your area?
Young people in my area are fine. I don't have any problems with them at all.
There's good young people and there's bad young people.
There's a big mixture because we had the riots, and I think I was out by accident on the night that we had the riots, and I saw a lot of young people who struck me as trying to live up to their own stereotype of what a bad young person would be. So, for instance, they all put their hoods on.
But the majority of the kids who got involved in the riots had been multiply permanently excluded. They came from some of the poorest families in the country because they were kids who needed school meals and there were challenges. They were kids who had for years had difficulties and had cautions and been in the criminal justice system. So actually it wasn't normal kids in normal situations suddenly deciding to be greedy. It was actually the most vulnerable people who participated in the riots.
How do you think stereotyping affects young people?
People feel judged in some sense because you're taking a look and you're making judgments and then you're following up on that judgment. You know?
Society isn't willing to give them as much of a chance and can sometimes think, oh well, they don't want to be part of what we want to do, and so can kind of close off some barriers.
If people look at a youngster and are scared of them, or perhaps worried they're going to be aggressive, or worried that they don't quite understand them, then it could mean they don't communicate properly with them.
Make them lack confidence. Might make them want to be bad because people think they're bad anyway.
It gives them a bad name, and they also think, well, if people already think this of me, I might as well just continue the way I am. People don't want to change.
I think it could affect their job prospects.
Because maybe they have stereotypes in their mind, won't actually give people a chance.
Because what you do when you stereotype someone is you negate their humanity, you wipe out their humanity, and you just describe them in a way that is not really about them, is about an idea you have of them. And for that reason, I think stereotyping is very much an attack on people's individuality, and it's not a good experience either way.
Do you think there are any differences between young people in your area and young people in other parts of London?
Well, yeah, I would say that there is a social divide.
No, I think they're all the same.
So I think the area I live in is reasonably affluent and gentrified.
I don't see any difference. I think everybody is the same.
People who have the courage to set the agenda in a more truthful way. So if you're in a neighborhood and everyone says you should join this particular gang, then what you need to do is have thought leaders there, young people who say, no, it's not necessary to join this gang. I've decided to join a church, you know, and to do it openly, or I've decided to join a mosque, and not try and hide it and not try and fit in. And schools could do a lot to support young people with that.
Do you think stereotyping in London is a problem or not?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
In the press and things, it can be very negative.
Not if they ignore it.
It's probably more of a problem to young people.
Yeah, I think it's a problem.
A bigger problem even than in the rest of the UK.
I would like us, my ideal would be that we get to a point in the world where everyone is seen as an individual and they're allowed to be the best they can be, you know? Whether you want to be fat and ski brilliantly, or whether you want to be thin and do rollerblading, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're good at, that you do it really, really well, and that you contribute to society. I wish that we could get to that point. And I recognize that we're not at that point, you know.
Thank you.